The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, my mind is just boggled right now. This show right here that I did with Tim Tolbert was recorded last week, and this is this week. The show is dedicated to Sam Reinhart, aka Killer, aka Judge. We met each other through Darnell, the Chronic, which was for me back in the day, and we became really good friends. He passed away recently. I don't know what's going on, what the deal is. Man, this is hard. The show is dedicated to Sam Reinhart. We've had so much stuff together. We did Battle of the Worst Bands. We've had battles to where my ex-wife fought him in a match. He lost, and then we just had battles, last man standing, cage matches. Then when I played Vicious Venom at the time, too, me and him had good feuds. He was Vicious Venom's very first match, and he was Vicious Venom's very last match. I made a video dedication to Sam, so ladies and gentlemen, this show right here is dedicated to Sam Reinhart, a.k.a. Killer, a.k.a. Judge. I love you, brother. I know we had our rough parts after 1 year, everything. But right here, ladies and gentlemen, here is a video dedication to my brother, a.k.a. Killer, Sam. Roll the footage. Landis. This is season 4, show 2. I can't believe season 4 already. All the time I do this, I think of the Four Horsemen. Four Horsemen are when John Cena goes like that. I'm not trying to be like John Cena. But season 4, I can't believe the last show we had the Hall of Famer Sting on there, Tyler Blanchard was on there, Earl Hebner was on there. So it's like, man, I'm just, what are we going to expect this season? Like I said, last season of Dos Landis season 3 was very emotional because, for one, we had Montreal Jones, our childhood friend of mine, passed away. We did a dedication show to him. We went to New Haven Middle School, which they tore down, and said tons of memories with that. But again, like I said, I'm trying to do it every year to where I want people to know the real me. Because again, before this TV stuff, I'm still a regular person like I am now. Nothing's changed. Maybe my weight and height and the gray, but I try to do shows where I'm very personable, and I try to take advantage of seeing my childhood friends as possible. Try to do stuff with them. But here I am with Tim Tolbert. How's it going, man?
Pretty good, Jeff.
Man, last time I seen him was like in New Haven. This is 1993, I think.
Yeah, 90, from elementary.
Yeah.
From elementary through the middle school.
Yeah.
And I left New Haven Middle School the beginning of my 7th grade year. And I went to Village Woods Middle School and graduated at Paul Harding High School, class of 99.
It's been forever. So yeah, it's been forever. I mean, he's seen me on TV, but again, I can't see him from being on TV. He's like, hey Jeff, I can't. So again, like I said, it's one person I want to definitely thank. Enoch, me and you, we fought our rounds back in the day when I was a teenager. You with Team TV, me with doing the Jeff Landis show, and just in general. You've helped my career a lot with a lot of things with Bilo Sheen. When me and him had our little beef, rest in peace, Brian Lowe. Speaking of that, this show is dedicated to Montreal Jones, man. I wish you were here, man. This would be cool to have you at the round table, but, I had you on a Dos Landis a couple shows ago. I think it was season 2, one of them. But, I wish you could be here in person. Like I said, rest in peace. You've done a lot for me. No matter what, I still think about you. And, we've had some good times. And same with Tim. Tim's had some good times with you as well. We've had some stuff. So back in the day, is there any stories you want to tell to everybody? Because we've been friends for forever. We've had our ups and downs. What friends hasn't?
Yeah, you can't always say that friends don't bicker, argue, fuss over stuff. But we did work a lot of things out, and we've still been friends ever since.
Yeah.
Meadowbrook, Jeff was one of my first friends I met at Meadowbrook because we was in the same class from 1st grade all the way through 6th grade. So we just been 2 peas in the pot, Jeff, he met my family, met my father. My father, he's a retired North American truck driver, trainer. He drove for at least 40 years with North American Van Lines. It was, I could tell you one story was pretty interesting because one year we got in trouble at school and the teacher called my father, and my father was on the highway. He was driving at the time, and he told the teacher he'll be in the next day, and we was kind of like worried about it, like, well, he's gonna be in the morning, thinking that he's gonna bring me to school, but that wasn't the case. We found out about 11 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody was getting rowdy in school because my dad drove the semi to the school with the North American Van Line trailer and truck attached to the whole parking lot. And everybody was like, whose father that is,
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, because everybody was all rowdy with that. Teachers was like, we never seen this happen, but that was not a day I was too fortunate to be happy to see him.
The students were happy, but Tim was like, oh, man, I'm not really in trouble.
Yeah, but, after my punishment and stuff was over, said and done with, my father, a very good man. He's a pastor, been pastoring at New Jerusalem for over 40 years as well here in Fort Wayne. Fortunately, this church is shut down because due to his health. He is 78 years of age, but the time that he came into the class, he actually took all the kids in class, Jeff, Vanessa, Kathy, Montreal, Brandon, all out to the truck. And he opened up the trailers. Fortunately, the truck was empty. So but how moving van trailers is a big, humongous space in there. And everyone was just having the time of their life. And that was one of the highlights that I can still remember till today, besides getting in trouble. But my classmates, they had a time of life with meeting my father face to face and bringing the truck to the school, and everybody actually get to see what it's like to be a truck driver. And that's kind of where my path took place for after graduating high school and so forth. But basically, the other memory I had was with Jeff was our big Royal Rumble.
Oh my God, I talk about this to this day. People know my side of the story because I've always, no matter where I go, it's professional wrestling, backyard stuff I did, I've told my side. Let's hear your side because everybody's heard my side. Now I want to hear your side. I mean, that was one crazy day.
Yeah, that was crazy. Now I was a humongous wrestling fan from Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, Tito Santana, Barber the Bruce Cake, Ron Simmons, the Legion of Doom. You know, I was just a big wrestling nut. Still is to today. Not as much, but I still watch wrestling. You know, WWE, now AEW. That's a very good competition. I would like to touch on that a little later towards the end of the show.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because, you know, it is a message that I would like to bring up because of the fact that my personal experience from driving and being my own business for a long time helps me to divide different things. But the coolest part about this Royal Rumble that we had, we was in 4th grade.
Was it 4th grade?
Yes, it was 4th
I
grade.
remember the grade. I just remember it all happening. And
It was in 4th grade. We had a little outdoor set. It was a balance beam and a high beam.
it looked like a ring. I mean, it really looked like a ring. I mean, look at it our way.
Yeah, it was a half a ring, and that was the coolest part about our business. You know, we was like, from 1st grade, we always go out there and wrestle. 2nd grade, we went out there and wrestle during our playtime. You know, it was always some kind of match. You know, I pretended to be Ron Simmons, or I'd pretend to be Tito Santana, or sometimes I'd be pretending to be Sting. Jeff here, he was always want to be the nature boy with his woo.
Hulk Hogan was another one of mine. For Shawn Michaels. But yeah, I remember I was telling Montreal this. I'm sure I don't know if you remember this. It was like after WrestleMania 8 here in Indianapolis. Well, we're in Fort Wayne, but in Indy. After we watched it, I was like, why don't we recreate that? So it was me and Montreal. I think it was you versus Montreal, or me versus you. Somebody wrestling you. And I was like, why don't we just recreate the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan thing?
Yeah, it was me and Montreal started off first. Then you was the referee, and then some kid, we don't know who he came from, just come out of nowhere, interrupted our match and say, "Hey, can I join in?" Yeah. And we're 4th graders, like, sure.
Why not?
But just to let you know, we're not going to be easy on you. And you can't go running and crying to the teachers if you got hurt. This is wrestling, but, we're cautious of how we was going to do it. But you can't be a crybaby when you wrestle with us. Because, like we said, we was hardcore from 1st all the way through middle, all the way through 5th grade. And when we was hardcore, we was hardcore. We did some stunts that, if we did some stunts.
Yeah, luckily we didn't get trouble by teachers. I mean, granted, there's been a couple times where it's gotten heated to where I'm not for sure if any of our friends really got really heated with each other because we knew our limits. Because we're like, okay, we're all having fun. We're just doing this out of fun. But then some of the people that would come in, man, be like, we're here to have fun. But if you get hurt, we're not trying to intentionally hurt you. It's just that the accidents happen. It's like we were doing, like I said, I think we call it JW. I don't remember the federation names, but I always say J. I don't know. I could be
we didn't have a federation.
Oh, we didn't have a name.
No, we didn't. We just no. I think what we did was back then. I think we just said, hey, WWE, or one day we'll do WWE or WWF at that time. But then maybe say 2 days later when we go outside to do recess, then we jump brand to WCW. Okay, we bounce back and forth to different brands. Now, the funnest part about it was with AEW, how they keep tracks of the wins and loss records. we was kind of like that same way with our pretend wrestlers that we took place with, because later on, fourth grade, we start creating belts, and you was coming to school with the belts.
Yes.
So based off of our wins and loss records, or say, hey, I was this guy, he got beat this many times, but he won this many times. And then you say, well, this guy's here's this guy, and then we have like a open match to say, hey, whoever wins this between this guy is the new Intercontinental Champion or the European Champion. You know, we always had that imagination growing up as kids.
You remember that $1 million belt that Montreal?
Oh, yes, yeah.
What's kind of cool, though, is that my boys started doing the same thing. They started making their own belts.
Mm-hmm.
So after seeing that, I'm like, man, we used to do that back then. And like I said, it's about the whole competition thing that we had back in the day. There was no egos. Nobody was like, if I lose a match, he lose a match, Montreal lose a match, Brandon lose a match. That's fine. We'll just have fun. We didn't no egos or anything. We're just doing it for play.
And it was the best part ever. I mean, that's the funnest part about being a young kid. You know, growing up with, now by us being fathers and having boys of our own, you know, course is a lot different from back in the 80s compared to now.
Yeah.
But I'm still a big kid. I wrestle around with my boys, and they're, you know, they'll go. You know,
I used to wrestle, but since my hip and everything is just getting bad with me, I don't wrestle with my boys anymore. But if I have that one match, my final retirement match, it would be against them. Makes sense. My triple threat match would be against them. But again, like I said, I still got to get into shape. I had my last match actually, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I had my last match, and a ladder match. I started becoming a fan of ladder matches. Like, all right, Mike, we'll do a ladder match. He beat me 1, 2, 3. I haven't fought since then. Do I have the itch? Yes. But again, like I said, it's cool. We get to generate that since we have sons. Our sons could possibly take. Oh, dude, you know how awesome that would be if they all got together, generated their own fit. Oh. Sorry, I'm just thinking if in the future that would be.
Yeah, I mean, everything is possible, you know, because with my kids, how they're, you know, technical sound and different things. His kids are technical sound. You know, bringing them together and for them to finally, you know, meet and they start throwing ideas around, it will be a good fit for them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's the thing about it. But, you know, fortunately, you only got 2, I got 3. You know, but I do have a daughter, but, you know, she was a tough cookie too. I'm not going to lie about her. She'll throw down. If it was a women division, she'll be top. She'll be the one. She'll be the top of the women division. Let's see. Who could I say? Who can I replace her as? Trish. I would say she's between Trish Stratus. Let's see. Trish Stratus and who's the widow? What's her name?
Is it Victoria?
Victoria, yes. Trish with the style and the charisma, but with Victoria attitude and aggressive, merge those two together. That's pretty much what you had with my daughter. That was a nasty combination. Because she did pop me a couple times when she was growing up, when we wrestled. And she got me a couple times. I ain't gonna lie.
You know, this is weird. I mean, to be real with you, like thanks to Enoch, I know we've talked in the past before about getting together, about doing stuff with TV. I never thought we'd be sitting right here talking about our kids. Because again, like I said, you know, sometimes people tend to lose track of their childhood friends.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, yeah, granted, you know, I went to TV and I had a big head after I left middle school and stuff like that. But I always kept myself grounded because I never forgot about you guys. It's like, after I left New Haven, I wanted to come back to New Haven because I'm so used to having you guys. I mean, there's been times where, because you guys know my childhood wasn't the greatest, I moved back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, I always wanted to come back to you guys because, again, you guys are my foundation. I never forgot about where I came from. You guys were my true friends. Even though I know, like I said, it's totally different from when I moved out to Fort Wayne. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, you guys were my true friends.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where I went. no matter what school I went. If I went to Geyer, Southside, or wherever, you guys were always my true friends.
Yeah, because you was in a transition for a while, so we did lose contact, And Enoch did a good thing of bringing us back together. It took a while. I know you had fun out there in New Mexico. I heard you back here in Fort Wayne. When you get a chance, you got to hit us up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got to interview him for another friend that he kind of connected us to, named Brian Lowe. He was a fan of the show back in the day, and then, like I said, me and Enoch used to work with each other on TMTV. He hated my guts because, again, I was the biggest prick you'll ever meet. You're probably thinking that's probably not possible, but back after I left New Haven, man, I had an ego, really big ego. I mean, I was a kid. I mean, this is my dream. I wasn't expecting this to happen, and sometimes egos take over. But again, like I said, I always been humbled by everybody from Don Montreal, you, everybody from back in the day. It's like, I'm still humble. And this day, like I said, when we got together, you called me like, dude, let's get together today. I'm like, okay, I'm not working. Let's do this. I mean, you like Vince McMahon said, you got to take the opportunity and you got to take it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People don't want to take the opportunity, and they're basically fear is a big control with people.
Yeah.
They're afraid to find out the outcome of different things. Your dream was to be a wrestler, to do what you wanted to do. But unfortunately, you didn't make that run to be the wrestler.
Yeah.
But another door opened for you to get where you're at now. And that's the thing that I tell people all the time, and that's what I preach to my kids. Just because one thing don't open, but it might be a side door that opens that leads you to something greater. Because I mean, to be honest with you, look at it this way. I never imagined for me to be a coach, coaching wrestling, coaching baseball. I'm coaching men's league now. This is my 19th season of coaching, and I never thought I'd imagine coaching. My plan was to play professional baseball, to make history. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, but it led me to coaching, things like that, and it elevated me to make it a lot better. So
it's crazy how things work out. Like you said, granted I wasn't the greatest professional wrestler, but I ended up turning out to be a professional referee. Because everybody assumes like I was been there before. You always got to be that wrestler. But be working in the wrestling business. I film for them. I do TV interviews. I refereed. I wrestled. I promoted. It's like I try to tell the new people that's coming in like. You're getting an opportunity. Just because you're not in the middle of that ring, the wrestling business is very hard to get into. I got lucky. Like I said, I started doing backyard wrestling, which I shouldn't have done. Again, like I said, I was a teenager back in the day. I didn't know. And I got trained by Dark Angel and his guys, and then I got led on to going back to independent professional wrestling. And it's like, I took that opportunity because, again, when we were kids, you can ask Tim, I've always wanted to be in the fame like somehow. It was to TV, music, or entertainment. I was driven to do it, and like I said, I hit up Tim because, like I said, because Tim's always been a big wrestling fan, and so have I. And I'm like, dude, guess who I ran into the other day? Who? Ron Simmons. And I just wish I could have got an interview with Ron Simmons because, like I said, I was thinking about him. I was like, man, I would have said, hey Tim, I got your role model right here.
Yeah, Ron Simmons was my big role model back in the day because he had that desire, he had that passion, and he had that no quit attitude regardless of whoever it was, even with his tag team partner. I can't even think of his tag team partner at the time.
Was it Butch Reed?
Think so.
Was it Doom?
Yes, Butch Reed. When they became the tag team champions, they didn't just settle for that. They pushed to get to the next level. And when they went their separate way and Ron Simmons had his opportunity to win the match against, what was it, Ric Flair?
Oh, it was Vader.
Vader. When he faced Vader for that match, I was at home watching it. I think I had to beg my dad to change the channels for me to watch that match because he was watching the news. So between the news and wrestling, he was like, man, seeing Ron Simmons win the match. And then my dad was excited for the fact that he seen Ron Simmons beat Vader for the belt. It was a good moment for everybody. So that was a big deal.
I just wish I would have got that interview because I'm like, damn, I want to do this because I said to him in Montreal, he wants me to get an interview with the Nasty Boys. So I'm gonna try. Again, like I said, I have no limits to who I try to interview. Like I said, I just gotta get that one interview, then I'm retiring as doing TV. But again, like I said, the wrestling, I always tend to go back to the wrestling business, no matter what it seems.
Yeah, as it is, because I drove semis for 14 years, and I've been out the game for a little bit, but unfortunately, out of my personal experience of being in that industry, I deal with a lot of different things, customer service, helping companies to try to help companies to understand the changes, up and coming guys who are starting out fresh. You have a bigger advantage now, but if you're not aggressive enough or you're not looking at the opportunity to take that advantage, then it's just something where it's just going to be repeat history over and over. And that's a problem,
That's true. I remember one year, it was like 2011, we got contact with each other. Hey Jeff, because you seen me, can you try to get trained in professional wrestling? Do you still want to get trained in the professional wrestling business?
Well, my 38-year-old body, playing baseball, wrestling, Olympics wrestling, I can still handle right now. Yeah, definitely. Because being trained just to actually get out there, because that's one thing I would like to cross off my bucket list, is to actually wrestle in
independent wrestling, companies and stuff.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, it's no age limit. You got guys that start at the age of 38 because they had personal life that hold them up, But yeah, I would like to do something like that because, with my athletics abilities and everything else, I would love to do it,
Well, you've been wanting to be a wrestler since we were kids.
Yeah, but when you have kids, it kind of.
Oh no, that's what I call reality.
That's reality. It changed the course, but but to give that opportunity to actually get into a ring and wrestle against higher competition, because I'm a competitor. Even though that I do stuff as it is, I'm always a competitor, regardless.
Nothing wrong with that. It's part of life.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have that competitive edge because you got people that wants to move up the ladder, but then you have people that don't want to move up the ladder. I'm the person that always wants to move up the ladder, but you got obstacles when you have people who are already above you try to stop you from moving up. And and that's not me. That's not my MO. Because just because you've been there, but if I see flaws and different things like that, and that's kind of one of my special gifts, if I sniff you out, I'm going to take that opportunity to take you out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would love to see you get trained. Like I said, I know some people that's willing. Like I said, it's a hard business, man. I don't get me wrong, I couldn't handle it myself. If you'd put me in there now, man, I'd tap out.
Yeah, I would definitely like to do that because it's
What, make me tap out or being in the wrestling business?
Being in the wrestling business.
I'm like, are you gonna call me out? Are you trying to call me out or something?
Look, tapping you out would be pretty much easy to do,
You think?
Oh yeah, man. Just think about it. I mean,
you think?
Oh come on! Look how long it's been. I mean, since we had our wrestling match in middle school, the final match we had was in 6th grade at New Haven Middle School. We had that one final brawl, and to be honest, we both eliminated each other over the pole. Don't know how, but we eliminated it over, and we still didn't have a winner.
Well, I did retire. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you.
Okay.
Mike, I love you, brother. We'll always love you. No disrespect towards the match. It was a great match. But I'll make a deal with you. If you get professional wrestling trained, legit professional wrestling trained, I'll give you that one more match. And if I am challenging myself to get in shape, to get this hip, don't laugh, to get my hip taken care of. See, he's egging me on. Jeff Landis, what was your wrestling name? You didn't have a wrestling name back in the day, did you? I know Montreal was trained at one time, and I was Express. If you remember us doing, we did that.
Nah, I didn't have an actual wrestling name, but if I do have a wrestling name, And the one thing can tell you as it is, when I wrestled in middle school and actually high school wrestling, I was kind of a weird person because everybody like listened to like rap, rock, pump up music and everything else. That what always pumped me up was R&B music. So my handle would most likely be R&B because I'm just smooth like that. So I'm very crafty, I'm very smooth, and I always on the move and always be thinking at the same time. So that's what pretty much would be my handle is R&B.
Okay. So I'll give you a number to get professionally trained. Once you get professionally trained, like I said, I'm challenging myself to get physical shape, better shape. We'll do it.
Sounds fair enough.
One more time, Mike. No disrespect towards you. I just want to, like I said, this is my childhood friend, man. We've had this passion for the wrestling business for forever. Besides him and Montreal being my best friend, he was one of my best friends no matter what happened. No matter all the bullshit, all the craziness that's happened, he's always been there for me. So again, I'm a better competitor than you. This is, can I do it one more time? So I think he's basically calling me out to see if I have still what it takes, and he wants to have his one match, at least one match. This is going to be done inside of a professional wrestling ring, not no backyard, not no freaking back alley brawl. We're going to do this inside of a professional wrestling ring. You know what would make it 10 times better? If we could do it in New Haven.
That would be good because that's where we left our draw at, in New Haven.
Oh my God! Speaking of New Haven, really wish they didn't tear down the school because that would have been perfect right there, right in that gymnasium.
Yep, but who knows? We'll work something out around New Haven somewhere. Something gotta happen,
I mean, who knows if this match turns out good? I could come back, not full time. So I still got my dream match with me and my boys. That's going to happen no matter what.
Don't worry, fellas. I'll put him out the shelf until you guys get old enough to take him on. Then he'll be out of retirement. Come back out of retirement again.
So we're going to shake on this. So you promised me to get trained and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. I promise you that.
And once you get fully trained, it's going to be me and you? All right, let's do our little pose. Oh, yeah, I'm down. Me and you for sure. So you heard it first on a Dose of Landis. Season 4. I was season 3. Season 3 is when we're in New Haven. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm going to come back for one more match. As soon as he does his obligation of being trained, and then I'm going to get some more training too. So yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting because I look at it to a point of passing the torch along to our generation. Because with my children, with my boys, and his boys, it'll be something good for them.
Yeah, the way they can see it, like two best friends going at it, just no ego, because mainly there's a lot of egos in wrestling and everything else. This is just going to be for fun, and, if it gets heated, it gets heated, but we know in the end we're always going to be friends no matter what. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for this. We've talked about this for a while, but it's going to actually happen for sure. I can't wait for this, man. Speaking of that, let's do a little name association that we did with back in the day with our high school friends and stuff like that. This isn't a diss towards anybody because we didn't care about anybody. Let's do a word association. Montreal Jones.
Montreal Jones, huh? Well, we could do Brandon Cooper.
Okay, Brandon Cooper.
So, I don't know. Brandon always got that fag up stuff going on.
Yeah, you should see him now. He's really crazy with stuff. All right, David Eicher.
Oh, haven't seen him forever. David, no, that's...
He was the Amish wrestler.
He was the Amish wrestler. Yeah. Man, I don't know. Really, that's basically the clique that we had before that overall brawl we had out.
Yeah.
I mean, that was crazy. How many people we had in there? Like at least a good 25 people.
Well, let's see. So that was me, you, Montrell, David,
Yep, Brandon.
me, Montrell, you, Brandon, and David.
It was 5 of us.
5, yeah. We started because I had the old wing title belt. Because you remember my grandma bought that for me. So, yeah, let's do this. And we brought the wing title in it, and it's like I don't know. We just did like a 4-way. Everybody started coming in. Man, I mean, if you talk about an unplanned battle royal, I mean, people are getting thrown out left and right. Kids that even picked on us because we were in special ed classes. I started bringing that up. People were picking on us because of that stuff. They were joining the thing. Everybody was just joining. No females joined us though.
No, they
No.
they didn't want none of that. After they seen how it was going, it was scrapping all the way across the whole board.
I think that we didn't have an actual winner because I think the bell rang after that. Didn't the bell ring?
Yeah, that's what ended up with the draw because we was on top of the pole of the balance beam, and what happened was we was just slugging it out. And then we heard the bell ring, and then fortunately one of the kids bumped us over, and that's where we ended up with the tie.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, but yeah, the class bell ring, and boy, when that bell ring, you thought you saw roaches scatter. Well, they kids stopped so quick, like, and they took off to the class.
Oh man, that was.
It was like, what the heck is going on here? Like they just shot off like what? They just gone.
And on top of that too. My belt got broke. Like
oh
the
yeah,
side of it, man. I was mad because the title always draws to me. I mean, I love the big gold. I love the current titles that they got now. But the wing title was the one that I love the wing title. I can't wait to get that again during my taxes. I will not trade that away like I did last time. Well, me and my ex-wife got robbed, and then we needed movies and stuff. But when I get that wing title, it's not going anywhere. I promise you that. That thing costs like $300.
Woo! Yeah, there it is.
That's why you gotta wait for tax time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta do this one last match, man.
Yeah, definitely, because this is a match that's been unsolved for quite a while, a very long time.
And we were kids, so when the people say that, oh, we had a childhood battle, yeah, some of that storyline, but this is legit. I mean, I'm gonna show you a picture. I'm not trying to embarrass you, but there's a picture of you and Montrell giving each other the double clothesline. I know we talked about this when we were driving here. You don't remember that at all, do you?
Nah, I don't even know how to even manage to take a picture of this. That's the thing. I'm still trying to figure out who took the picture.
I did. So you want to say a couple things to the camera? Go tell people what you've been up to. I'm gonna go look for this picture, and I'll see if you remember that.
So well, the one biggest thing about running across Jeff again, it's good to see him again. That's definitely the truth about it. Mytel, he was a good friend of ours from first grade, and we always hung out during lunch, class, after school, time to time.
Women, girls, sorry.
That's later on down the road. But besides that, I mean, it's been pretty good. I mean, it's been a very good role, very good everything. But me personally, like I said, been coaching for over 19 years. Half of it's wrestling, half been baseball. It's been a high journey, a low journey as well. It's just looking forward to it as it is. Unfortunately, I don't live in Fort Wayne anymore. I have made moves from living in Fort Wayne, out of Fort Wayne, back into Fort Wayne. I did end up relocating at one time to Buffalo, New York. Didn't work out, came back. Now I'm relocated down to Indianapolis. Elevated my personal career down there. Met quite a few guys. The best part about being down in Indy is the baseball teams that I joined playing baseball this year. The Indianapolis Cubs, Don, Steve, Stacy, Miguel, Joe, playing in this 35 and over league with those guys was a big relief for me because that's kind of my anger management impression is playing baseball. And, went to the tryout down there playing, trying out for the team for the 35 and over division. Well, I'm a left-handed catcher. So when I tried out for the opening day for the tryouts, they was like, "Oh, left-handed catcher, that's unheard of." Well, Don seen something special. And Don was like, "Hey, can you work with my pitchers since you're a catcher?" Well, I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll work with your pitchers because, I'm a pitcher myself, but been catching for over 20 years. It was a big deal for me." And I'm happy to say that, unfortunately, going into playing with these guys, once I got to know them and everything else, they was on a major losing streak for a long time, but they stayed together. But with the chemistry that we built together and their trust in me and putting their faith into my baseball knowledge to help them to be a little bit better, and I'm rubbing off on them, they're rubbing off on me. I'm learning things off of them, they're learning things off of me, and it sharpened the team up a lot better. We actually got them their first win out of 4 years that they've been together, and that was a very big accomplishment.
Sweet, that's good.
One of our players, Joe, got sick at the beginning of the season. Lou Gehrig disease, I think it is. Yeah. He was sick. So we dedicated this season to Joe. And the day we played against the River Dogs, and I ended up pitching that game, and we won the game 10-2. So, and that was the first time I pitched competitively since 2004, when I was the head coach with the Fort Wayne National here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I was the manager of that team that year as well. We won the Fort Wayne tournament as well.
That's awesome. He's always had the motivation. He's always got a heart of steel. The thing about Tim, that's one thing I love about him. He's like a brother to me. Like I said, I'm glad that we got connected. I'm glad things worked out. Please don't hate me. I actually don't think you'd hate me because, again, we're talking about professional. We're talking about, how should I put it? We're talking about elementary school wrestling. Yeah, here's the name of the company that we had back in the day. Elementary Wrestling Company.
Yes.
Elementary Wrestling Alliance.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Holy moly.
Do you remember that?
Woo! OMG. Oh, hell no.
Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that. That is you, right?
That is definitely
Okay, I
me.
want to make sure I wasn't. That's Monty.
Oh, he tried to clothesline me, but I got the better of him.
Double clothesline.
Well, my clothesline is better, as you can see. Technique, form, way better than what his technique was, because I'm going forward and he's going backwards.
So, yeah, I think I got this from the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 6. To this day, still one of my favorite matches. Wow. So you do remember that now after seeing this?
Yeah, God, man. That little beefcake back then. Boy, I was a stud.
Man.
Travis. There, turn it around.
Oh, oops. Sorry, I lost it. I'm sorry, but I'll show it up on a
Yeah, it is showed up there, but I'm gonna put it this way. For my youngest kid, Travis, yeah, that's you. Your future's right there, buddy.
There you go. I just wish I wouldn't. I wish I had that one, because we had I think Vanessa was the one that took a picture. I think it was Vanessa or Kathy. We all took a picture together. It was me, Montreal, you, Brandon, and David. Brandon always used to have that baseball bat.
Yeah. Always trying to go around swinging that bat.
He's still out there, but he's still a big wrestling fan.
I know he is. Fag up. Fag up. That's what you always say, Brandon.
Yeah, oh my God. Man, we had the girls too were crazy back in. Oh my god! Tim's like, do you have to bring that up? I don't think we ever fought over girls. No, we never
Nah.
fought. I know back in middle school, me and Brandon, he was dating some girl named Angie Height. Sorry for bringing this up, but Brandon wanted to kill me because one day I think it was me and Montreal or somebody, we were hanging out after school, or Kenny Parrish, somebody. I don't know if you remember Kenny Parrish and them.
I think that was because I left in 7th grade. That must have happened in the 7th grade.
It was 6th grade because I left at 6th. I left between 6th and 7th. I think, yeah, right around that range.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember that one then.
But no, Angie came up to me and she was sitting on my lap like she was riding me, and oh my God, Brandon wanted to kill me the next day. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I was a young kid, but yeah, we never had that problems. But yeah, I just wish I still had that picture of me, you, Montreal, and because I'd make it into a shirt. Because again, like I said, I started out by doing, not I started, but we all started doing that. And I'm looking back at my wrestling career, I'm like, man, look at these people I've worked with: Sting, Ric Flair. I've never worked with Ric Flair, but I've met him twice. John Cena, and like I said, get to referee Hornswoggle's match. It's like looking back at this, I'm like, crap, I can't believe I've actually doing this. Now, not to have an ego or anything like that, what was your first thoughts when you seen me on TV? I'm just kind of curious because I always ask people that from back in the day. I'm like, you know me since I was a kid, and we used to hang out before then. What was your first thoughts? Because some people was like, what the hell is he doing?
Pretty much that same reaction. We're like, is he actually on TV? Jeff is actually on TV. Huh. All right. He's on TV. That's how I looked at it. Because at the time, I'm playing baseball at Paul Harding, wrestling at Paul Harding, and running cross country. So my attention was more in that. But when I saw him on TV back then, that's something that he wanted to do. He was always wanting to be on TV, singing or performing or wrestling. So he took that step to go ahead and do it. And I saluted him, but fortunately, around that time, we lost contact. But when I did see him on TV, it still couldn't really get a connection. We got connected, and then we lost connection. We got it, lost. But now the connection has been reconnected.
Oh, yeah, Tim hit me up. Hey, how you doing, man? Not too bad. Are you at work? Yeah. I'm in town. Like we're supposed to meet this past Sunday, and again, things happen. Again, today happened. So, like I said, I'm off today. Sunday, things, like I said, things happen for a reason. Again, like I said, I'm glad it happened today. Again, like I said, today my plan was just be lazy, not do anything. But again, like I told him, like he knows this already, he's an adult. Like I tell everybody, take that opportunity, especially if it's with a childhood friend. Again, like I said, this probably wouldn't have happened if it weren't for Enoch. But again, how should I put it? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to get sentimental and stuff like that. I know this is a you challenge me type of wrestling show, but people tend to forget where they come from. No matter who you are, no matter if you're an average Joe or you're a plumber, you do professional baseball, basketball, professional wrestling, celebrity, stuff like that. People tend to forget where they come from. And they act like that they're too good for everybody. Yes, I won't lie. I've been that way before. I was an egotistical ass. Sometimes I can be, but not as much as I used to. But if you have an opportunity if you're still speaking with a high school friend, middle school friend, a childhood friend, even if that has nothing to do with school, take advantage of it. Because again, like I said, when Montreal died, I'm not a very sentimental guy. Not very sentimental at all. I didn't cry. I love my grandpa to death. I didn't cry when he died. I love my grandpa no matter what. But when Montreal died, I cried. And he was one of my friends that I've always kept in contact with off and on. I just wish he was here in Fort Wayne. Things happen. But again, like I'm trying to say, opportunities like this, cherish your friends. Talk to them. Just because you have, say for instance, you have a better job than I do, which you probably do. If you got a car, a big fancy car, if you live in a house, everything like that, don't forget about your true friends. Always be there for your friend no matter what. That's why when Tim hit me up, or I hit Tim up, we're not going to lose contact. We're going to be friends to the end. Again, take advantage of the opportunity to be there for your friend. no matter who they are or what they're doing. If they're going through depression, if they're going through sadness, if they need somebody to talk to, if you want to have fun, like talk, take advantage of it. That's why when Tim was like, "Hey Jeff, let's do something for TV." Looking back at doing this show, it's crazy because we were little kids wrestling each other, and we're like, why don't we challenge each other to a match, which we're gonna do. But looking back at as kids, not many people have this opportunity, not even to do it on TV, to do this. So take advantage of the opportunity with your friends. Damn, I'm trying to be sentimental. I'm just letting you know. Like, I had a friend before I got in trouble when I went to New Haven, or got in trouble. This is before me and Tim lost contact. Me and him hated each other because of, I caused this, he did that. I'm not naming any names, but my friend from Woodburn, we lost contact with each other. We didn't care for each other. He showed up at my work, not intentionally. He happened to show up at my work. We reconnected. We talk every once in a while. We're still there. Like I'm trying to say, cherish every moment you have with your friends. Like I said before, I've had several shows where I've had big name celebrities on. Going back to interviewing Happy the Hobo.
Oh, big time.
Going to New Haven to do the last final show inside. No other news channels inside doing this.
Nope.
We were doing that. Filmed a whole hour and a half inside New Haven Middle School. Take advantage of it. Because again, you never know what's going to be your last breath. I'm sorry I had to say it that way, but again, like I said, I'm blessed. I've had all kinds of shows, but shows like this are straight to my heart. I mean, yeah, granted, I know you're not, big, but you're still my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So doing this show today means a lot to me.
Well, I'm glad it did, and I'm glad I took the opportunity, because I always told him, I said, it's going to be one day I'm going to sit up here and be on the show with him. Is hopefully one day that I can actually get into the ring and face him one last time. And look like the opportunity, it took a while, took quite a while, but the opportunity presented itself for me to be here, and the opportunity presented itself for me to get in the ring, get trained professionally so I can take him on.
Who will win? Who knows?
Hope you're watching, Cody Rose, because you're about to find your next superstar right here, Buster.
I mean, you never know. As long as you have the heart and dedication and no limit, you can do what you got to do. All right, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, as long as you want. Cut a promo on me.
To cut a promo, huh?
Yeah, cut a promo on me about our match.
Oh, I'm not a promo guy. That's the one thing about it. I'm kind of a more action type guy, but I'm gonna try my best with this. So you gotta work with me here.
You're good. I'm not, no judgment zone over here.
So, since we tied, God, how many years is that?
Let's see, it's hold on, 2019 now.
30 years ago. 30.
Holy shit!
Yeah, because we was.
Wow.
Yeah, because what, 8, 9? 8, 9 is in 4th grade, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
No. We was 11, 12. 12 when we was in 6th grade, right?
I think so, yeah.
So 6th grade was 12. I'm 38.
I'm 38 too.
Jeez.
I know, right?
See, this is what happens when you get old. Math kind of disappear on you when you don't need it to.
Well, I suck at math in general. I'm not going to deny that fact.
Well, I'm a good math guy, but right now it's kind of as it is. Let's just call it 25. Let's just call it 26 plus years, okay?
A long time.
A long time. Since we tied and we didn't get a chance to finish who's the best, and the one thing I can definitely say is the one title that I still hold over you that you never got back from me, but I did lose it to Montreal, was the European title.
They didn't have the European title. It's probably the Intercontinental title because we know we.
Yeah, the Continental title.
Yeah, because we loved the Intercontinental title back then.
Yeah, that was compared to what that weak red belt that they have on some no-name program that just walks around doing some stuff. That belt was more treasurable.
Yeah, we love the Intercontinental title belt.
Yeah, and it's still run around. Like, the Miz still walk around with it. You know, he's probably the best Intercontinental champion of all time. Yeah, I said it all time because when he had that title, he always had the drive and passion to make it better. Even though that the other belts are supposed to be better than that, but Miz bring it out even top. But that's the one title I had over you that I took from you. You you tried your hardest to get it back. We had ladder matches. We had last man standing. We had the last I quit match for that title, and you could never get it back from me.
We had a feud for sure.
But unfortunately, Montreal was the one that dethroned me for that title.
That's when I came out and saved him because you would be left to the whole WrestleMania. Well, that's kind of funny. You talk about the memory, and then the memory pops up. Yeah, man, I wish I had a picture of that freaking.
Yeah, because after that match was over, oh yeah, your boy here turned heel like in a minute, because I was pissed.
Oh yeah.
I was shitty, because I had that title for God, at least a good 7 months out the year. It was getting close to the end of the year, and here's the thing about this: when the teachers let us go outside in the snow, we wrestled in the snow.
We didn't care. We had no limits. We're like, you know what? Let's do this.
And that's what you call true wrestling. We was out there in the snow wrestling. But as long as I was holding on to that title, I was good. I walked around one day in school with that title, and people thought I was the stuff. But when Montreal beat me for that title, oh yeah, I turned heel on him in a minute.
Oh yeah.
I was ticked. That was one title I was happy to have. But when that happened, oh yeah, I was beating him up. This guy over here decided to jump into the ring and going to try to attack me.
I would never do such a thing.
Yeah, he tried. He got tossed. And then that's when all the wave of people start coming. It was like a sea of people. They seen him fly and they all start coming. And then we all got into it. It was a full out brawl. Because the only thing those kids seen at that time was a belt held by Montreal after I popped him in his face. And I held the title up, and then he comes up and popping me in the back.
And then everybody
started popping everybody in the back. But that's the one thing that I can honestly say. But that last match we had on that balance beam, if it wasn't for that belt, I would have beat you one last time. And this would never happen. But because that bell saved us, because we stopped and we got pushed off at the same time, it left a split between us.
You were saved by the bell. Literally saved by the bell.
He was saved literally by the bell. And I'm telling you what, Taco Bell, you can use him as a sponsor because he was lucky he got saved by the bell.
My bell got wrong.
Yeah, he definitely did. But I'm gonna be honest with you. When I get into shape, when I get trained, I'm gonna take him out.
We'll see about that.
I got some stuff. He knows some moves that he hated me to put him in. But you know the one thing I can honestly say that he really gonna hate about me is by me wrestling. And I'm gonna tell you, Bethlehem Lutheran School, Wayne High School, the schools that I coach for wrestling, all the kids that I wrestled, that I trained, the personality, the things and they love to bring into the knowledge that they fed me into, I'm going to dedicate half of this match to all of you guys because you guys helped me to create new moves. Because when we had our little time on the wrestling mat to have a free-for-all wrestling, just like what we did back in the day, but you guys wanted to face the coach. But we had our fun. And it was as it was. But you guys taught me some new things that would be perfect for him. That he is going to suck and hate. Especially this one move he's really going to hate.
So you want to talk about how you're going to defeat me? Let me tell you what, Tim. We may be friends. We'll always be friends. But I tell you what. I eat my friends as competition. I've had people that started their own show against me, and I became #1. I was the Vince McMahon of Fort Wayne. So, I've dealt with all kinds of things in the entertainment business. So compared to what you're gonna get, compared to what they did to me, you're gonna get 10 times worse.
Oh.
So this one final bout between me and you, I'm gonna come out on top as number one, like I always have, by any means necessary. If I have to cheat in a match, I mean I never cheat in a match anyway.
Listen, I tell you what, since you talking about you don't want to cheat, let's just make this a simple, easy match then. Since we don't have to worry about anything. No bells, last man stand match.
Last man standing match?
Last man standing match. So if you need the advantage, hipper.
Oh, so you're throwing...
Hipper. So yeah, I'm throwing dirt on you. Hipper. You want me to bring you a walker so you can hop your way down to the aisle? Oh, no. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a walker on this ringside. So when I get done beating you, where you can't get up, I'm going to make sure that walker's going to be right there for you to help you up.
So you're trying to say that even if I have a bad hip, you're going to take me out no matter what?
Like I said, that walker's going to have your name on there.
You know, I'm offended, man. I mean, I've been in the wrestling business for forever. You might have done this, amateur stuff. But when you get in the big leagues of professional wrestling, it's a totally different ballpark. Not compared to what you play, but you're gonna realize a lot of good things happen in that ring. So you may stress me as a pretzel, but let me guarantee you this match with you will be nothing compared to what I've had in the past. I've had ladder matches, I've had last man standing matches, I've had wife's on a pole match. No, I didn't really have wife's on a pole match. Just had to throw that in for the heck of it. Steel cage matches, last man standing ladder matches, 2 out of 3 fall matches, iron matches. Last man standing I've had before. I beat Kid X, rest in peace. Even though you done me dirty, I'm not gonna bring that up because it's a different story. I'm not gonna have no mercy on you. But I tell you what, if it's gonna have to kill me to have a good match, one final match with this guy, it's gonna happen.
And I'm telling you as it is, for this last man standing match, you do not want to miss it.
I'm ready for it. We don't have a for sure date, but it's in the works.
It's gonna be in the works, because I'm promise you this right now. Once I get professionally trained, I don't have to worry about being in shape, because I'm already in shape for what I do.
That's one thing. That's one advantage he has of me. He's in shape. But I've been in a wrestling ring before. I know where it's part of the ropes. I know what to do in that ring. I've been in that squared circle. So I've got him beat on that. Mentally, too. I said, I've been in that ring. He's never, ever been in a ring. He may have been on a mat, wrestling around with men, because that's what he prefers. But when he's inside that wrestling ring, it's a different chapter. And let me tell you, Tim, the chapter that I'm going to win, especially if it's in a ring.
Well. Let's just hope. I hope that when I get done getting trained and we mark this date down, because when we get this date official, we're going to come back on the Jeff Landis show, do this again. And I'm officially going to show you don't mess with R&B.
I'm ready for this. So it's set in stone. No contract. We're not doing no contract because this is a friendly thing.
Oh, it's a friendly thing, all right.
But competition can be a pain. Trust me, competition can be a pain. I've like I said before, I've had people that's threatened to take me off the air. I've had people that's threatened to beat me in any kind of competition. I'm always gonna be the guy that's on top. So nothing's gonna hold me back. Even for one more match with my good friend, it's still gonna be no matter what competition is gonna be. I'm gonna be number one, no matter what it takes.
Like I said, last man standing. Hope you're ready.
It's getting very intense. Before we go, is there anything else you want to talk about, like current state of mind of professional wrestling? We've got like 10 minutes left.
I think, let's see, wrestling. Well, the one biggest thing I can honestly say is AEW, I'm going to give you a lot of props. Cody, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Scorpio Sky. I officially want to tell you, thank you for answering my question on Instagram yesterday. The question that I sent you was, how did you get your name, Scorpio Sky? And you told me on Instagram how you got that name. And I want to appreciate you reading that out. And I appreciate you giving me the answer to your name. But I have been a very big fan of AEW since you guys have busted onto the scene. And I wish you guys the best of luck. Keep pushing. Keep trying new things. I respect your program because you're bringing in independent wrestlers that no one heard of. No one heard of. And you're giving them an opportunity. You're not sending them through a wannabe minor league tryout like in some other federation that has a minor league system to bring them up to the big show. But you guys are doing the right thing. You're giving people opportunities. In the women division, in the men's division, you're also giving indigent wrestlers opportunities. And how can I say this? Sexual, gay.
Oh, you're fine. You can say whatever you want on my show.
Yeah, I want to be respectful. Homosexual?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and giving people of different sex opportunities to get into the ring, because I was watching last night on AEW Dark, Sonny Kiss, watching that man wrestle. And with him tagged up with Dustin Rose, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you guys are doing something that's more respectful than anybody else. And keep doing what you're doing. And my full support is with you guys. I'm just disappointed in the program that's been around for ages since we've been around. And they definitely lost touch with the system. But you guys keep doing what you're doing. Because, period. And I know that your guys coming down to Indianapolis on the 20th of this month, or in November. Unfortunately, I work in Indianapolis, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to that match because I'm going to be working that night. And hopefully next time you guys come back around Indy, I'll hopefully then catch a match to see you guys do what you got to do. But I'm happy to see another competitor facing the big dogs. So keep up the good work, guys.
Speaking of matches, I got a little education to give you.
Okay.
You know I've wrestled in the ring before, right?
Nope, never wrestled in a ring before.
No, I have.
Oh, yeah, I know you have.
So you better study. Go to Landis Entertainment Network. Look up Hot Stuff Still Burning. And you'll see how far I will go to win a match.
He don't want me to. I'm going to put it this way. If I'm a coach, what do coaches do? They study, they scout their opponent. He don't want that.
Oh, I do.
Oh, he don't.
I do.
He don't. If you seriously, if you personally know me, the man of study, and he want me to watch tape on this guy, you better tell somebody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut this short. From this day on, I got to start training, and you better get your stuff in gear. I will send you to a professional. I mean, I personally won't. I know somebody in the business. So, anything to say before we go?
It's been a very good pleasure of being here with my best friend Jeff.
Thank you very much, Tim.
It's been a very long overdue time. Because he always asked me to come to a show, and unfortunately, circumstances, unable to do it. But today, it was a good thing. The only thing I did was send a text message out to him to see if he was free, and he was. And I'm happy that we was able to be on the show together. We talked about my trail, and even though this last man standing match between us, this match will be dedicated to Montreal. Because that's the one thing we both did agree about, of having this match.
He'll be refereeing in heaven for us.
He'll be there soon.
Yeah, I just wish. I wish we could get the whole crew. I mean, I know Montreal's alive. David, I don't know what he's doing. Last time I seen, not disrespecting you, David. Last time I seen him, he was on mobile upload or whatever it's called. For he had a warrant for something.
Yeah.
Brandon's Brandon.
Fag up.
Speaking of Brandon, you're gonna see a clip later on. You're gonna see a clip before we end the show with him. I just gotta find it. Man, I just wish we could get a round table of all of us. That would be. Because like I said, everybody's heard my story.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to hear your side of the story of the whole thing. Because, again, some people are like, oh, you're just making stuff up.
No. We had battles. We had little wood chips stuck in us.
Oh, my God. You were all over the wood chips. Oh, my God. I remember.
Woo!
Yes, we wrestled on wood chips.
Wood chips. Splinters.
Broken friendships.
Oh, yeah. Somebody got a splinter and they cried like a baby.
I don't remember who it was, but no, I do remember Splinter.
Somebody got a major splinter and they cried. Yeah. Can't think who it was. Probably one of those no-name guys that jumped in the bottle.
Right, they could handle it.
Yeah, they definitely couldn't handle it. Because it wasn't us, because we would have handled it. We might have teared up, but we knew how to take it out.
Yeah, what's crazy is I still go to Meadowbrook to this day. That's no longer called Meadowbrook. Oh man, I wish we could go back together and go. I have an idea, but I have to talk to you about it after the cameras roll. I don't know if you'd be willing to do it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Like I said, Jeff Landis versus R&B. It will happen. Very, very soon.
We will let you know.
And I promise you, I won't be hip to be square.
Don't worry, people. I have that walker for him. Hey, Don, if you still got that cane, I need it. He's going to need it.
See, he needs it for himself. But stay tuned for some more on A Dose of Landis. This has been one hell of a show. I don't regret everything. I can't even talk. I just want to face you right here, right now. Let's do this right here, right now. But again, I can't because of the guidelines of in the studio. Last time I was in the studio, I had a heated argument with somebody. I ended up getting my ass kicked. Don't rub that in my face. There were 6 people.
Oh.
I got kicked out of the studio. So I can't physically. I physically want to just challenge him right here, right now. But he has to get trained.
Don't worry. I will get trained. And once I get trained, we will come back on here, give you the date and the time and the place. And like I said, this will be dedicated to Montreal. So we're hoping that, people will come out and support the needs for this match between us. So
for sure. Even if I have to be a promoter to book it myself, it will happen. Stay tuned for more.
Yep.
I'll wrap this up like a condom. And by the way, as my favorite group would say, you're totally crossed out. You're totally dosed out. Hey, here's my friend Brandon, by the way. What's up? He used to wrestle with me back in the day for the JWF days. He used to carry a baseball bat. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Me, Montreal, you, and David and everybody, man. Had a good time. So, is there anything anybody still watching right now?
Yeah, how y'all doing though, man? Subscribe, all that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we're going by my old house where I used to live with my grandma. This orange beige house right there. My grandma used to live right there. You good memories right there, basketball court. So here in Woodburn, Indiana. Yeah, check this out. Be Norm's right there. Me and Ryan used to walk that way because of the store, cause trouble. Woodburn Meats. police station. Yeah, this is kind of cool going back to Woodburn. Wow, it's changed a lot. Jim's Pizza used to be right there. Out in Woodburn real quick. We're doing a real quick video real fast. Norm used to be right there. Holy crap, this place has changed a lot. Just lived down that way. Worked over there, but I guess they changed that too. What's up, everybody? It's me, Jeff Landis, here on A Dose of Landis. Again, like I said, I'm a very controversial figure. Everything I do, like last month, I got accused of being a pervert and everything else, and I got accused of this and that. Brian Thorne's accused me of things too. So, you know, speaking of controversial, WCW Monday Nitro. This never happened. I wasn't told this happened. But I want to talk about something that happened a couple of years ago. I'm gonna get off my chest. You guys know, back then I used to watch a show on a channel called Totally Sarah. Well, I met her in person. We talked, we texted, we got to know each other better. We started falling for each other, liking each other, talking about all kinds of things, getting together, going together on shows, and it started getting personal. And it got deeper, telling each other things like, telling each other's deepest thoughts, and we're just going to get together, with professional lives and possibly talking about, being together. And things happen. We end up texting each other, saying each other inappropriate stuff. If you guys want to know who I'm talking about, this is who, right here. I was going to work together with her on some projects and do an interview, and then things turned out wrong. And like I said, we started liking each other because we had so much similarities to everything. And again, like I said, I felt like I connected. And again, like I said, we were talking about hooking up and talking about working together as well. Things happen, when you find somebody that you got stuff that's in common with, especially with TV and entertainment business, because the entertainment business, it's hard to find somebody. So again, I want to say, sorry to Sarah for what all happened. Sorry to Nicole and everybody what all happened. So again, like I said, we were going to work together and we ended up liking each other. So we made mistakes. I made my mistake. I went to my mistake. I'm very sorry for my mistake I made. Things happen. I just want to apologize to everybody for what's going on. So again, I'm still controversial no matter what I do. It follows me. So again, like Westman says, it happened to the end of the road. So ladies and gentlemen, again, like I say I'm sorry. Didn't want to bring this out in public, but I figure the public should know. So, again, like I said, the views and opinions not expressed in the library, it's on me, Jeff Landis. So again, I take responsibility for what happened. So I'm apologizing to everybody out there for my mistake as a human being. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I continue to make them. I'm not perfect. So, yeah, there you go. You've been totally outlandish.